with Anastasia here. Today we are going to make my famous potato ragu. My kids love it, and I hope that yours will too. I'm very sure they will love it. We're gonna start off with the onions, which we're gonna chop into small little pieces. Our festive table always served by dishes from a military ration. When I do this, I really like to get really close to the core of the onion to really get, that nice and thin piece in. Oh, it's making me cry. You see my tears? It's just something you have to get through. So look at that nice and small piece. We're gonna put that in there and let that soak together a little bit. We move on to the nice piece of chicken, which is fresh from the market. I really recommend that you buy it fresh because you don't want chicken lying around. If you're gonna use chicken, use the one that was killed yesterday. So, same thing goes here, small pieces. We're gonna want really small pieces of all the ingredients so we get a nice and fine ragu. Something like that should be good. So you mix that together with the onion. We continue, just mix that up. You can use your hands, that's totally fine. I really do promote, using your hands as much as possible because you really get to the ingredients. So we put about 2 to 3 spoons of tomato sauce. It's the same tomato sauce that I showed you on my webpage in the web podcast last week. So you can just, this is really easy tomato sauce, which you can use for pretty much anything. Everything from spaghetti to lasagna to ragu. So there we go. And we mix that up. You can use a nice big spoon for that. Salt that up. And I always like to use a little bit of nutmeg. That goes for anything. I even put it in my yogurt sometimes. My kids always, once the nutmeg is in, they know that smell and they come running. They always want a little piece. And I tell them it's raw chicken. Shouldn't be consumed. So they have to wait for, actually, this meal only takes 5 minutes to make, so they don't have to wait so long. So I'm happy and they're happy. Moving on to the carrots. I like to use a lot of vegetables in my ragu because that's what makes the kids really strong. Kids need to be strong when they grow up because they have a lot of fighting in life to do. Good muscles. I'm so happy that I can serve the food that my kids will eat in the future to prepare them for becoming stronger and helping us to unite as one because we are that strong part. We are the ones that are going to win in the end, and we are aware of this. So we put that back there in this marinade, and it doesn't matter if it fills up nice because we want a lot of healthy food. When our country is surrounded by enemies, our kids have to be strong. I like to flip it one time and then we place it in the pan. Use something to scrape out the last parts. Just let it cook for a little while and then it can just, be under low heat for the rest of the time. Lots of protein. Lots of vitamins. It's what my great-grandma gave my grandmother. It's what my grandmother gave my mother, and it's what my mother gave to me, and what I want to give my kids. So now we wait and we continue with the potatoes. Fastest way to chop potatoes is to hide your fingers like this, so you never risk cutting them. When my son will be 18 years old, he will spend all his summer holidays in the military camps. I should help him to adapt to the military food from his childhood. It is very important for men to be always prepared to protect our country. That should be enough. So we just let that cook up for a little while. Also salting a little bit. I like to salt, every now and then. It does smell really good. So stir that one time. Put the lid on top of the pan. And we wait. So we're going to continue with the ragu filling. Potato together with the rest of what we've been preparing. Pour a little bit more sauce in there. There's not really a right amount of sauce. I always like to put a little bit more sauce. Looks lovely. And we are going to add a bit of oil, sunflower oil, I like to use that, with the kidney beans. Like that. Also just let that steam up nicely. Briefly do this with your hands. It's just important that nutrition and energy is given a place in this matter, because what else would we do without strong kids? So we're going to place the whole meal in this metal container. And this metal container can be purchased on our website. It's a really good one. I like to use it for pretty much any meal. It's really handy because placed in the fridge, the food can last for up to 6 months. And that's precisely why I like to use it, because I can send it to my son whenever he needs a meal. So it's really, I can make it now, but I can send it in 2 months or so. It's perfect. Love it. You should get some. So we start by putting the pâté mixture in the bottom. You're gonna fill it up completely. And the beans. Nice and thick layer of beans. And as you can see, this only took me 5 to 6 minutes to make. In my family, we have a tradition that we time each other and see how quickly we can prepare a meal. And my son, last year, it took him 45 seconds. Amazing. So we're gonna top it off with a little bit of parsley, just to present it nicely. I always like to make it extra nice for my kids. Something like that. Every summer, I send my son to patriotic camp. I'm sure all moms know what that's about. We fill a lot of aluminium containers, and we're going to place one of them in the sending box, along with the pâté, which I showed you the recipe of last week. I'm a really stressed mom, so I like to make 5 to 10 boxes of these and just keep them in the fridge, ready to send whenever. Maybe we can place also, I usually just put in 1 cracker, but I feel like being extra nice to my son, so I'm going to put in 2 cookies as well, for the sweet tooth, but also to keep that energy high. Apricot jam, very important, 1 tea bag. And the fork. So we close it up nicely. And it's also possible to buy these sending boxes on our website. It's also part of our merchandise. So, I'm going to put my son's name there. I'm going to put where he's at the moment. I'm not sure, but we always get an update. And I hope he receives it. So I hope this information was useful to you. I hope you'll try it out. And I'll show you something else next week. Bye!